could the Vancouver Canucks be on the verge of adding a prolific goal scorer to their roster? Rumors are swirling around a potential move for a player who's consistently netting over 30 goals a season. As the Canucks look to bolster their lineup, this opportunity could be the game-changer fans have been waiting for. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button to stay in the loop on all the latest Canucks news. As the NHL's 2024-25 season continues to unfold, there's been some intriguing buzz surrounding the Vancouver Canucks and a potential move for Brock Nelson of the New York Islanders. With the trade deadline looming on March 7th, teams are starting to position themselves, and it seems the Canucks are eyeing the 33-year-old center who has consistently found the back of the net, netting over 30 goals for 3 consecutive seasons. Recently, I learned that last season, Vancouver tried to acquire Nelson but ultimately pivoted towards Elias Lindholm instead. Fast forward to now, and there's a strong indication that they might take another shot at landing him. According to sources, the Canucks have kept a close eye on Nelson, and if the Islanders' struggles continue, there's a real chance he could become a Canuck. Now, let's be clear, Nelson isn't just a name on a list. He has played all 27 games this season, tallying 10 goals and 7 assists, while maintaining that trademark two-way game. His ability to contribute offensively while being a solid presence in the defensive zone makes him an attractive option. Imagine him as a third-line center or even shifting to the wing, providing depth in scoring and experience. That versatility could be a game-changer for the Canucks as they look to solidify their lineup for a playoff push. But here's where it gets complicated. The Canucks aren't in any rush to make a big trade. They've been cautious, and rightfully so. After all, the landscape of the league is ever-changing, and making the wrong move could set the franchise back. However, with Nelson seemingly on the market, it begs the question, is this the right path? Do we risk more assets for a player who could elevate our roster? I'm honestly torn on this one. On one hand, strengthening our forward depth with a proven goal scorer like Nelson could significantly boost our chances. The fact that he's familiar with pressure situations and has a history of delivering in clutch moments is enticing. But on the other hand, there's a fear of giving up too much for a player who could potentially walk away at the end of the season. And let's not forget the current state of the Islanders. Sitting at the bottom of the Metropolitan Division, it's clear they're going to have to make some tough decisions soon. If they continue to flounder, the likelihood of them being sellers increases, which is where we come in. The Canucks could be poised to make a serious offer if the timing is right. So, what does this mean for the future of our beloved Canucks? If they can pull off a deal for Nelson, it could change the trajectory of the season. Adding a player of his caliber could not only help in the immediate term, but also signal to the rest of the league that Vancouver is serious about competing. It sends a message to the fans that management is committed to building a winning team and not just standing pat. But it also raises the stakes. If the Canucks don't make a move and continue to slide down the standings, it could lead to bigger problems down the road. Will we see a more aggressive approach as the deadline nears? Will they stand pat and hope the current roster can turn things around? I want to hear from you, Canucks fans. What do you think? Is Brock Nelson the solution we need? Or should we hold off and focus on developing our existing talent? Are we ready to take that leap into the trade market? Or is it too risky? I genuinely want to hear your thoughts, so drop your comments below. Chris Kreider, the veteran forward from the New York Rangers, has reportedly exercised his no-trade clause to block a potential move to the Vancouver Canucks. For those of us who bleed blue and green, this news hits hard. We've been clamoring for a big-name addition to our roster, and Kreider seemed like a prime target. But as it turns out, Vancouver isn't exactly at the top of his list. At 33 years old, Kreider still has plenty to offer, especially with a manageable cap hit of $6.5 million for the next 2 seasons. With 10 goals in 21 games this season, he is a proven scorer. However, his unwillingness to consider Vancouver as a destination signals some underlying issues. It raises an important question about our appeal as a market to established stars. This situation unfolds as the Rangers are exploring significant changes after a disappointing 6-2 loss to the Edmonton Oilers. It's clear that both Kreider and captain Jacob Trouba were on the trading block, with Trouba even being dealt to Anaheim in an attempt to shake things up in the New York locker room. Elliotte Friedman touched on this in his podcast, highlighting the lack of urgency and poor defensive coverage that plagued the Rangers. So, what does this mean for the Canucks? Kreider's refusal to waive his no-trade clause is a stark reminder of the obstacles we face in attracting top-tier talent. While we've started the season strong and have one of the youngest and most exciting cores in the league, the reality is that we still struggle to entice seasoned veterans to make the move to the Pacific Northwest. This could shift Vancouver's focus elsewhere, but it also emphasizes the importance of building success from within. Sure, big trades generate buzz and excitement, but the long-term prospects for the Canucks hinge on the development of our young stars and fostering a culture that players want to be a part of. You have to wonder, though, was Kreider the right fit for us? With our current trajectory, should we be prioritizing internal growth over external acquisitions? I have to admit, I'm torn. On one hand, adding a player like Kreider could have provided that immediate boost. On the other, maybe it's time we invest even more in our youth and let them shine. It's a delicate balance, and that's what makes being a fan so exhilarating yet frustrating. The choices being made now will have lasting impacts on our chances to compete down the line. Each decision carries weight, and we all feel it. So, Canucks fans, I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on Kreider's refusal to come here? Do you think we should pursue other veterans? Or is this a sign we need to double down on our youthful energy? I truly want your opinions on this. Let's engage in a discussion down in the comments. And don't forget, if you want to stay updated on all the latest news regarding the Vancouver Canucks, make sure to like, share, and hit that subscribe button. You definitely don't want to miss any essential updates. Also, activate the notification bell so you're always in the loop. It's an exciting time to be a Canucks fan, and while we face challenges, there's always hope on the horizon. With our talented roster and passionate fan base, I believe the best is yet to come. Let's keep the conversation going